Let's begin in the NFC North, Mel, and a couple of teams that, let's give you the full grades, by the way, before we get into the specific teams. Bears, Lions, Packers, all tie for a B. Vikings goes C+. Mel, I'm going to start with the Bears here and ask you this question. If the Bears had more picks, do you expect they would have had a higher grade? Because of the fact that they got Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, I loved this draft. If they had more volume, would they have been potentially an A-level grade?
Couple things, Field. I think the first two picks were gimmies. I mean, anybody could have made those picks. You could have been a hockey analyst and never watched an NFL game or whatever, boxing analyst and you would pick Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. I mean, they were hand delivered. I think when you look at the key picks are at fourth round, taking Torrey Taylor, punter from Iowa. We know he's got a great leg. We know he was a critical entity for Kirk Ferentz and the Iowa Hawkeyes. He can flip field position. That's a critical thing in the NFL. So I think when you look at Torrey Taylor, he's going to determine a lot. Then Austin Booker, they went and got him. The point of emphasis, Field, for the Bears, I thought, and I had heard, was going to be pass rusher opposite Montez Sweat, right? And they had given up that second-round pick to get him, which was a great trade for the Chicago Bears. Austin Booker, who did nothing at Minnesota, comes to Kansas, newcomer of the year, has a good season. Draft process didn't treat him great. His stock had dropped. I thought he maybe go third round. He goes in the fifth. He's a critical entity. Somebody's got to give them opposite Montez Sweat some semblance of a pass rush. Is it going to be Booker? He, to me, will determine if it's a B grade is right, or it should have been a little lower, or that B grade is a little off. It should have been a little higher. So I think the two guys will determine that. As we know, when you talk about a Yale offensive tackle, Kieran's a developmental tackle. They're set at tackle. He can learn, right? But the fourth and fifth round picks are going to determine the fate of this draft.
All right, so Mel, the one thing I will say is that while you said that Malik Neighbors was a gimme, Rome Odunze was a gimme at number 9 overall, there were some people that would have said, hey, the Bears should have prioritized that pass rusher, maybe even a Byron Murphy II because of the role he plays within that Matt Eberflus defense. I like them resisting temptation to go elsewhere on the board and just take the number 6 overall player on my board. I think even higher on your board, number 5 overall in Rome Odunze. Part of the reason why I thought that was the grand slam of night one. The Chicago Bears absolutely crushed it on night one. A+ for night one, at least in my estimation. The Vikings out at C+ here, Mel, the lowest grade in this division. What didn't you like about it?
Yeah, I look at the Vikings overall. When you think about where we are right now with this football team, I think they did some good things. They're not set up well for next year. That's the main thing with 3 picks. But I think when you look at J.J. McCarthy, a little high for me. 15 on the board, they take him at 10. I love Dallas Turner where they got him. But after that, I think it all revolves around J.J. McCarthy. If he's as good as some think he can become, I get it. But they gave up a lot to get the players they were able to acquire. Walter Rouse will be a backup type. Jackson brings you size, but had some inconsistencies. Reichert, the kicker, was my 3rd highest rated kicker, not my 1st, okay? So you thought about Joshua Carty from Stanford and then Cam Little from Arkansas, then Reichert. So, again, not set up well for next year. McCarthy is the critical part of this. They have everything around the quarterback. There's no excuses here. Sam Darnold, hey, if you want to revive your career and you want to prove that you should have been the 3rd pick overall not that long ago and you can become a quality starting quarterback or a solid starting quarterback, Sam Darnold has that opportunity, Field. He's got the bookend tackles. He's got the running game. He's got the receivers. He's got everything in place. And if he's not, then you turn it over to J.J. McCarthy, and what does he become? That's what it's all going to be about, Field. 3 years from now, where's J.J.? Where is this team? Is Dallas Turner a 12-sack-a-year guy, or is he a 7-sack? What is Dallas Turner? But we think he can be the guy. They've always had that pass rusher. They need him to get it done. I just didn't like the fact they gave up a lot. They don't have much for next year's draft whatsoever. So it boils down to that and McCarthy to determine that. And I thought McCarthy at 10 was a reach. We knew it was going to happen, Field. We knew it. Yep. So it happened. 10 wasn't as bad as maybe 6, but still a reach in my opinion.
Yeah, Mel, the Vikings seem to be banking on a bunch of compensatory picks next year because as of right now, the Vikings have 3 total picks in the 2025 NFL draft. A 1st and 2 5ths. How about that? All right, moving forward to the NFC East in just 1 second, Mel, but the Lions not getting a higher grade. They got a B after taking my guy, Giovanni Manu. Come on now, Mel. What's wrong with you? Plus, Levi Drake Rodriguez went to the Vikings.
All right, I'm looking at my sheet here, Field, and I see Terry and Arnold. Nice pick, right? And I see Ennis Rakestraw. That wasn't my guy. That was your guy. I'm not as big on Rakestraw Jr. as you and Matt and everybody seems to be. Manu in the 4th round? Really, Field?
Yeah,
really?
Really.
I mean, I know you like him. I know all that. I know you. Would you have taken him in the fourth round? And you're a big fan of his. I don't think so.
Yeah, Mel, anytime on day 3 was fine for me because of this reason. There are players that are such balls of clay right now that the range is going to be so disparate, right? Like Jalix Hunt, your guy, who ended up going late in the 3rd round, which you told me was going to happen, by the way. You know stuff. There were teams that were lower on him. Saying, hey, he's more of a 5th-round guy. I just think these developmental players have a much wider range that if you're in a spot where you're weary of somebody else taking him by the time you're next on the clock, you just do it. Plus, Mel, I can't be behind the guy all draft year and then not give him some love on draft day.
Yeah, you just overrated him a little bit. That's fine.
No
but
way.
At the end of the day, Giovanni Manu in the 4th round, get out of here. And as far as I like their late round, instead of giving them a C or C plus field, the reason why they didn't get a C or C plus based on this draft so far is the later round picks. I really do like Sione Vaki. Sione Vaki, I think, is a running back.
Yeah,
now, if they play him at safety, I think he's going to be overmatched. So that's going to determine a lot, too. What do they do with Vaki, right?
Yep.
I really like the other picks, about Kai Wingo. He was more to me than Mason Smith. Mason Smith is what can he be when he's healthy? Makai Wingo is getting into that backfield when he was healthy, wreaking havoc. Quick off the ball. He's got it. What today's game wants, he's got. Christian Mahogany's got a chance. He came back from that injury. He's going to be 2 years removed. I like the back end better than the front. Outside of Arnold, I like the back end, and I would have taken Cooper DeJean, but I understand they want the pure corner. Take Arnold. Fine. I'm not going to hit him for that. Okay. I like Arnold. Rakestraw to me, that's your guy. And like I said, Manu, And like I said, we'll see how it goes, but I like the late round picks. But I want to see Vaki at running back, not safety.
Hey, when Manu starts pancaking people left and right, I'm going to make you buy a jersey for me as a gift for telling you I told you so.